fight win streak and hasn't lost since 2005. He looks to defend his UFC title for the second time against Kenny Florian, who made it to the finals of Season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter. And tonight, in his 17th fight inside the octagon, will not be denied his dream of becoming a UFC champion. UFC 136, presented by Bud Light. Here we go. Not one, but two titles are on the line. Will the third time be a charm for Kenny "Ken-Flo" Florian as he faces off against the demon Jose Aldo?
Jose Aldo is one of the top 3 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. He's got one-punch knockout power. His leg kicks are outstanding. He has no weakness. He's a freak.
Dropped again. Aldo on top of Muhammad. Oh, look at that knee.
Eu sou um atacante nato. Eu acho que todas as minhas lutas eu sempre fui pra cima o tempo todo. Eu acho que é isso que o público quer ver.
He is one of the most dynamic and explosive strikers in the game, period. This is a huge test to take on the most experienced and crafty veteran he's ever faced in his career.
We've broken down Jose Aldo's game. He is open to be countered, and I'll be the first one to take advantage of that.
Kenny is one of the smartest, most disciplined guys in the division and one of the most experienced. Now that Kenny Florian is down at 145, he is a physical threat.
All I know is it's gonna be hell for every single round, but I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get the title and be the featherweight champ.
Kenny is a very dangerous stand-up artist, and he is the favorite if this fight goes to the ground. No question about that.
Sou mais rápido que o Kenny Florian, então nisso eu vou usar sempre isso. Quando um bem encaixado pegar, vai acabar a luta.
Oh, hard uppercuts by Aldo. This is trouble. This is it. Set to enter the octagon for his third career UFC title fight. Here's the true story on Kenny Florian. He fell in love with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, was an outstanding Division I college soccer player at Boston College. He and his brother Keith went to Brazil to get their black belts at Gracie Barra. Then he was chosen to be on The Ultimate Fighter because Dana White was in the stands when he had a great fight against Drew Pickett. He said, "You gotta be on the show, kid." At 85, he made it all the way to the finals against Diego Sanchez. Sanchez was bigger. Kenny Florian started to perfect his striking at Team Sityotung with Mark Delagrati, worked on his strength and conditioning with Kevin Kearns. He since has broadened out to his own training center, to lots of time with George St. Pierre and the TriStar Gym. This is Kenny Florian's 17th UFC fight, by far his most difficult, but if he wins, by far his most rewarding.
Well, he has been to the mountain before against Sean Shirk and BJ Penn, two of the elite at 155 pounds, and that experience will come in very handy here. The 5-round fight with Shirk was a long, drawn-out war. He's been there before, and his body is acclimated to 145 pounds. The Diego Nunes fight, Diego Nunes is a very talented fighter and also a fellow Nova União fighter that shares a gym with Jose Aldo.
Kenny Florian steps into the Zions prep point. When I asked Keith Florian what the real key to tonight's fight is for Kenny Florian to leave for the first time as a UFC champion, he said patience and pressure.
And what Kenny thinks may be a key to victory is ground and pound. he thinks he might be able to get Jose Aldo on his back and rough him up. Hominick had Jose Aldo on his back, but Hominick did not have the type of ground and pound that Kenny Florian possesses, especially with his elbows.
Nor, Joe, does he have the type of submission finishing ability that Kenny Florian has. In fact, Kenny Florian has finished the second most UFC fights by submission in the history of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Number one is the Hall of Famer Royce Gracie. Born in Westwood, Massachusetts. Fighting out of Brookline, Massachusetts, Kenny Florian. Joey said his first cut to 145 was the toughest thing he had ever done physically and emotionally. And as you mentioned, he fought a teammate of Jose Aldo's, Diego Nunes.
And Nunes is a young, talented fighter, so it was a big test for Kenny Florian, and he passed with flying colors.
Nunes is really good, but nobody's Jose Aldo, especially in the UFC featherweight division. He is the champion at 145. Joe, how vicious is this kid? He competes at Nova União under the guidance of Andre Pederneiras with the 185-pound fighters. And as you mentioned a couple of times, the champion Anderson Silva said, if Jose Aldo was a middleweight, I'd retire. Andre told me yesterday that he literally almost broke his arm through the Thai pads. That is how vicious this kid kicks.
Well, he, much like Kenny, started out as a soccer player. And I think that there's a big correlation between playing soccer and the ability to move side to side very well and leg kicks. I think it's a very good place to start from. I think soccer players are elite athletes with movement and with kicks. And I think that really comes into play when you see how hard Jose Aldo kicks.
And the real key to watch from both men is how they step into their kicks. And Mark Delagrati has talked about it many times. Turn the hip is great, but if you can step in almost like a field goal kicker in the NFL and really torque your whole body, you can do a ton of damage.
Yes, and he does that, and he gets his kicks off very quickly too, with very little wind up. His timing is impeccable, his power is amazing, and on top of that, he has a wicked ground game that we very rarely see, and was, much like Kenny Florian, very successful in straight Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition.
I mean, Andre said of his top student at 45 that he feels he's the better grappler. He will look to finish from all over in tonight's fight. Jose Aldo. Left hook, right kick, keep an eye out for it. It is lethal.
He loves that left hook to the body, right leg kick combination, and the way he throws it is a thing of beauty. Another thing to think of is Jose Aldo's been having a hard time making this weight cut, Mike. He's well over 165, 170 pounds before he makes his cut. And his future may very well lie in the lightweight division.
Which is interesting because Florian twice fought for the title at 155. Our tale of the tape for this featherweight championship fight is brought to you by Dodge, the official automobile of the UFC. A decade of difference between Florian and Aldo. Kenny is 3 inches taller, has a 4-inch reach advantage with the official introductions. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Brought to you by Zenergy, powered by Zions, the great tasting, sugar-free, zero-calorie energy drink the official energy drink of the UFC. And now, this fight is 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 16 wins, 5 losses, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Brookline, Massachusetts, presenting the challenger, Kenny Florian! And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 19 wins, 1 loss, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the former WEC featherweight champion and the reigning, defending UFC featherweight champion of the world, Jose Aldo Jr. When the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Mergliata.
All right, we've been through the rules in the locker room. I want you guys to obey my commands at all times, protect yourselves at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. All right, good luck to both of you guys.
Here we go. I mean, can this continue to get better and better throughout the night?
We got another title fight after this,
Yep.
baby. Come on.
Jose Aldo. Kenny Florian.
You ready, sir? Are you ready, Kenny? Are you ready? Let's go, fight, guys.
Undeniably, this is the biggest fight of his life. Florian in the black trunks, blue trunks for Aldo. Tonight's official clock brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. Southpaw. Inside leg kicks will be very prevalent in this fight.
Kenny opens up with the kicks.
Kenny has got very heavy kicks and very bony the way he digs that thigh into his opponent, and those vicious elbows.
And like Aldo, we said, started out as a soccer player.
Yep. Division I at Boston College was Florian. Semi-professional in Brazil was Aldo.
Kenny also has a very sharp right jab.
Aldo pushes forward. What's going to be very, very important and imperative to Florian's success is his footwork too, which he's worked on a ton with Peter Welch in Southie.
And his stamina and composure should this fight go into the later rounds.
First against Shirk, then against Penn. Now tonight against Aldo. Got stopped. There's the power
He got
of
tagged.
Jose Aldo.
He got tagged, Mike.
Stopped and hammered on.
Kenny can take it, but that punch rocked him. He's pointing to him. What is he saying? He pointed to the referee and said something. Oh, he's saying he poked him in the eye, he's saying.
And Jose acknowledged it. Good lead right hook by Florian. Kenny looks for the takedown. Wow, what a scramble. Up against the cage. Right in front of his corner.
Kenny would very much like to get some ground and pound off on Jose Aldo. As we said, he saw the Mark Hominick fight, and he saw Aldo on his back and saw a lot of openings where he could have capitalized.
He's tried to take Jose Aldo down not once but twice here early, Joe. Kenny Florian has been defeated in every fight in which he was unable to land a takedown. Sanchez, Shirk, Penn, and Maynard. Every other fight he has been victorious in during his UFC career. Aldo is 19-1 overall. 12-fight win streak, hasn't lost since 2005. Midway point of the first of a potential 5 5-minute rounds.
And Kenny, even if he can't take him down here, and he does take him down.
He got it. Fight back up is Aldo.
He drops right back down to it. This is wearing Aldo out. Even if Kenny can't take him down, he's making him work very, very hard. And for a guy who has a hard time making this weight and had questionable stamina in the Hominick fight, this is an excellent strategy. Kenny's sticking behind him. Kenny's got his back.
Florian has outstanding submission skills.
Aldo is attacking though. He's looking for a Kimura on Kenny's left arm. He let that go to defend the takedown.
Remember, Aldo was able to stuff Mike Brown on numerous occasions when he looked to take him down and put him on his back. 93% takedown offense. The opponents of Jose Aldo, 2 of 28 coming into tonight on their takedowns. Combination by Florian. Pederneiras thinks that Aldo is the stronger of the two fighters. Ducks
Beautiful
under.
timing by Kenny Florian.
To the body. He's got him thinking, Joe.
He's imposing his will right now. You know, and Kenny Florian is one of the bigger guys in this division. That's something really to consider. At 5'10", he carries 145 pounds very well. He's very long and lanky. He's got an excellent reach, and his movement tonight is sensational.
And the real key for Florian is he wants to fight his fight, because he didn't feel like he did that against BJ.
He's constantly on Jose Aldo.
Patience and pressure.
Nice knee to the body by Kenny.
Florian has said he respects the skills of Aldo immensely. Elbow.
And Kenny has some nasty elbows.
Some of the best in the business.
Very good at cutting fighters. Slices the elbow across the skin.
Left his buddy Alex Karalexis with a big stop. After a big flurry by Aldo early, good job done by Ken Flo. We got ourselves a title fight.
That's a big round for Kenny Florian.
Great stuff.
Faraz Sahabi, Keith Florian.
All right, that was a close round. Close round. We knew he was going to be explosive on number 1, right?
Let's take a look at a right hand landed by Jose Aldo. This is the one that cut Kenny. Snuck through the guard. Kenny moves away from it like a real veteran. Took away some of the power of it.
Fez a combinação, indo pra trás, meu irmão joga com tudo.
When he throws it, Tommy, you got to kick his leg.
Como é que tá?
How you doing?
Andre Pederneiras just awarded his 100th Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt to UFC fighter Renan Barão. Black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at Gracie Barra is Florian under Roberto Maia. Aldo, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, training in beautiful Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Again, Kenny misses the takedown but lands a nice right hand.
Kenny gonna try to circle away from that powerful right kick of Jose Aldo. Throws his own. Superman punch.
Kenny is making Aldo think.
He is one of the master strategists in this game. 17th UFC fight, Joe. I mean, the UFC record is 25. You got Koscheck and Florian at 17, 18 from season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter.
Well, Kenny's very, very intelligent, Mike, and very disciplined as well. And he's obviously formulated an excellent game plan.
Ducks under.
And I'll tell you what, Kenny Florian has a very underrated chin, too. You know, he's only been stopped once by Diego Sanchez in the UFC, and that was a ground and pound stoppage when Diego was just, quite frankly, much bigger than him.
And he was stopped by wrestlers in Gray Maynard, in Sean Shirk. The only time he really kind of got outstruck was BJ Penn with that stiff jab he used in Philly. I mean, Shirk, he bloodied up from the bottom.
Yeah, his elbows from the bottom were outstanding in that fight. He's got Jose Aldo thinking, Mike.
2 titles tonight, Joe. Saturday, October 29th, UFC Undisputed 3 presents. UFC 137 is George St. Pierre battles Carlos Condit for the welterweight championship. Baby J, BJ Penn fights Nick Diaz live only on pay-per-view.
I'll tell you what's happened with the takedown attempts by Kenny Florian and the clinching is that it's taken away the kicks of Jose Aldo.
Which is taking away maybe his best weapon.
Oh yeah, a huge part of his arsenal. He just does not want to throw those kicks. He hasn't thrown a single one yet, and we're deep into the second round. Meanwhile, Kenny is free to throw everything. And that creates a much better distance for Kenny, who's also the taller fighter.
Florian with that 4-inch reach advantage in this featherweight title fight.
Florian's doing a lot of feinting too, throwing a lot of fakes, getting Aldo to think. There's the first kick by Aldo.
And again, and there are many people, Joe, who say the inside leg kick is more vicious than the outside leg kick because of all the nerves and you know, you don't have that big IT band on it. They both hurt, but the inside can be lethal. And look at already the red mark on the inside of the leg of both men.
Well, Aldo slaps with it. It's such a powerful kick.
You don't want to have your buddy test out the theory at home, but they can both be very, very...
What are you encouraging?
No, not at all. That's why I said you don't. But they can be very, very advantageous.
Good jab by Kenny.
Under 2 now.
I'd like to see more of those kicks from Aldo. He started it off.
Yeah, and there you go. You heard his brother Keith say, move to his left, move away from the power of the right kick. And as he moves to his left, Joe, he sets up his inside leg kick.
And he landed it twice.
Or pardon me, when he moves to his right, away from the power.
Oh, he went high with that one.
When Florian moves away, right here, circling to his left, moving to Kenny's right. Head kick.
And you hear him saying, get back, Kenny, get back.
Tossed aside. Oh, almost connected on the way up.
Keep your hands up.
Under a minute now in round 2. Title fight, 5-minute rounds.
Keep circling to your right.
There you go, he circles to the right again. He gets caught though.
There's another inside leg kick. That one is very powerful. You see the redness all over the inside of the left thigh, or the right thigh rather, Kenny Florian.
Outside.
He caught him before Aldo was about to pull the trigger.
Aldo was throwing that kick and he caught the outside of his back leg. Under 30.
Well, Kenny anticipated that the kick was coming. He saw the way Aldo was looking at him, and he got off first.
Now he's going to look to do like his teammate George St. Pierre does, maybe score a takedown late in the round and steal it. Waldo connects. Round 2 complete.
Ganhou o round. Calma agora, respira. Respira.
Take it easy.
Olha aqui, deixa eu falar uma coisa. A perna dele já está vermelha. Ele já está perdendo o movimento de andar.
He's losing his
Eu
movement.
só quero o seguinte, ele só está entrando no teu direto. A mesma
He's
coisa
going
do
in
Diego.
when you
Só
throw the
está entrando
front.
no teu direto. Vamos começar
The only punch that's landing,
a ganhar
it's
ele
his-
só na esquiva comendo. Que quando tu fizer qualquer coisa,
When you
ele
do
vai
anything,
dar uma
he's
pra perna. Se ele
always-
andar para trás, ele não bloqueia. Entendeu?
And there's a head kick attempt by Jose, just blocked by Kenny. And there's a nice right hand by Aldo.
He's got nothing. You've felt it before. You got it?
Baby, he's getting tired, Kenny. He's getting tired.
The champion.
And you hear Kenny's corner saying he's getting
All right, let's go,
tired,
fight,
Kenny.
guys.
They believe that Aldo has a stamina problem and that he can't continue this pace into the championship rounds.
And one thing that Kenny Florian has demonstrated throughout his career is he does not have a stamina problem.
Yeah, very, very disciplined fighter.
Disciplined with his strength and conditioning, which started with Kearns, continues with Jonathan Chamberg. Very disciplined with his diet.
Kenny's footwork and movement tonight have been excellent.
He's worked that a ton, got caught with the jab of Waldo. He has trained and acted and fought for the better part of his UFC career like a champion. The one thing he hasn't been able to become is a UFC champion. Nice. Florian, a decade older than Aldo. Look for the Superman. Again, he just adjusts that footwork, trying to keep Aldo off balance. Aldo stepped with an angle and tried to connect with the right.
Dan Mergliata's having a hard time getting out of the way of these guys. They're moving so quickly. Nice inside leg kick. That rocked him.
And he followed it up. And Andre Pedernera said, you're taking away his mobility with those leg kicks. Keep punishing the right leg.
Right. He's absolutely right. That one hurt Kenny, for sure. He's limping a bit on it.
Yep, he got rocked and then he got followed up on with a combination by Aldo with a big right hand. See if he goes for it again. Kenny's got to continue to circle away from that inside leg kick of Jose Aldo.
And Kenny has not been able to check any of those. And some guys don't in MMA, you know, some guys don't check the inside leg kick. They allow it to just throw their leg back. There's a bunch of different schools of thought on that.
He's moving away from it now, and he ducks under.
He ducks under, but Aldo's on top and mounts him.
Not good for Kenny Florian.
Kenny spins, but Aldo's going to take his back if he does that. Kenny tries to get to half guard. He's got to keep pushing on those hips. Hip escape, nicely done. Nicely done by Kenny.
With just 2 career wins by submission, but he is a black belt, as we mentioned in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
As Kenny tried to get that right leg over the top, Aldo very expertly switched the position and moved into side control. Kenny trapped the leg again. He's spinning, he's going for the deep half. Good hips by Kenny Florian in avoiding being mounted.
Trying to get the double underhooks.
He's moved it into half guard, but Aldo pushes down on the leg, and Kenny did a nice job there of getting his right knee in position to keep that half guard and protect himself.
Now remember, Kenny can be very active from his back, especially with elbows.
And he's gonna make Aldo work and make Aldo tired. Aldo's not moving that much anymore, Mike. He's just kind of holding position.
And this gives at least, even though he's on top, Joe, a little break to the inside of that lead leg of Florian.
And you hear Keith screaming, underhook the single on the left side, because that's the side where Kenny has the half guard. They want him to get an underhook on that side and stand up.
Single leg Kenny on the outside.
Kenny Florian 12-3 since the Ultimate Fighter Season 1 finals against Diego Sanchez.
Come on, Kenny, you're not tired. Kenny, let's go.
Aldo has lost only 1 time in his professional career.
Right there, good job by Kenny in utilizing his knee to get into a good position. Good up kicks. Powerful up kicks by Kenny. He's kind of slamming down on him like an axe kick.
Get the wrist, Kenny!
Florian showing his fine jiu-jitsu skills in defending on his back.
Controlling the wrists. Got to hold that singles, couldn't hang onto it. Couldn't hang onto it, and he's back up. Look for that Aldo inside leg kick.
Aldo had the mount and really wasn't able to do much with it, Joe.
Aldo's looking to kick, Mike. You can see his back heel, the right leg coming up.
Florian wants the takedown. Aldo #1 all-time combined in UFC WEC history with his takedown defense numbers. And he lands nearly 90% of his kicks. 10 seconds left until we hit the championship rounds.
So far, the most successful round for Jose Aldo. You see he steps in there with a jab. And this is the inside leg kick that's just devastating. And you see how he throws that? He pulls the foot up and flexes to hit with the bone.
Keep the fight standing. Don't go to the ground. You don't need it.
Respira agora.
Breathe.
Só vai escutando.
Listen.
Se você continuar chutando a perna, a luta vai acabar.
If you keep kicking his leg, the fight's gonna be over.
Você tá esquivando bem. Você tá metendo toda hora direto.
You're moving pretty well.
You hear me? It's gonna be fucking you, but you gotta pressure him in there. You gotta stay out. When you're fucking out, he's really quick and he's jumping all over. You can't just fucking dance away. You gotta fucking run away. You gotta get yourself out of there. You gotta hear me?
Taking the deep waters.
Deep waters now.
Deep waters and drown. Let's go.
Deep waters indeed. Florian went the distance, 25 minutes with Sean Shirk. He went into the championship rounds with BJ Penn. We are set to start the championship round. Round number 4 here tonight. Waldo and Florian for the title. You know, the one thing we don't often see, if ever, from Kenny Florian is for him to switch his stance to orthodox, which he could do to try to protect that leg, but Kenny's not a guy who switches his stance a lot, Joe.
Well, he's checking it now. And he landed a couple of good shots of his own.
You gotta get out.
And you hear Keith Florian in the corner really wants to make sure that when Aldo's attacking, that Kenny's nowhere near him. He said, just run away.
Good stiff right. That straight right, always an effective punch against the southpaw. Straight left the other way.
Kenny's doing a real good job of mixing up his punches and his kicks to keep Waldo guessing. There's that inside. That one hurt. That whole inside of Kenny's thigh is damaged. The difference is when Kenny lands his kicks, Aldo's taking them with no problem. They're scoring, but Aldo's taking them. When Waldo lands his kicks, every single one of them has a damaging effect on Kenny's ability to move.
Close fight here in the 4th round, although Waldo with a real nice 3rd round performance. Got the mount on a couple occasions. Looking for the takedown again. Man, what great takedown defense by the champion. And a big knee. You know, it's the little things that you see the highlight reel knockouts of Jose Aldo, those great kicks, but it's the little things that make him such a dominant fighter, starting with this takedown defense.
His takedown defense is amazing. A lot of it is because he's so athletic and explosive, and his balance is so good.
7 years ago, he came to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, with absolutely nothing. Came from the very large city of Manaus, Brazil. Halloween comes early to UFC On Demand as the Fight Zone becomes the Fright Zone with a collection of the most spine-tingling octagon action ever. Guaranteed to give you goosebumps this month on UFC On Demand. White Goldberg, Joe Rogan, UFC 136, presented by Bud Light.
And he lost the single.
How much can Kenny explode into these takedowns with that leg so damaged?
Well, he's been fine with it, but he's putting a lot of pressure on Waldo. That's what's important. And he's making it so Waldo is hesitant to pull the trigger. And Waldo just took a big, deep breath there, Mike. That's what Kenny needs to do, a lot more of that.
And his corner called for the body kick, he threw it. And Kenny has good Muay Thai. Really polished his Muay Thai with Mark Delagrati. And Kenny has done everything his way. I think that's the most important thing. He's surrounded himself with a training team, and tonight he just wants to leave it in this championship fight, and he's pressuring him right here.
He's got to do more damage in these positions, though. There he goes. Needs more of that, more knees.
Get your fingers out of the fence.
Dan Mergliata just telling Jose Aldo, don't hold the fence. His corner's just screaming. Zahabi, Chamberg.
Well, that's a smart thing to do, and it also gets in Jose Aldo's head. It makes him think about it.
Again, he drops for a single. High crotch.
And even though Kenny's not getting these, he's forcing Jose Aldo to wrestle and strain himself. And this, although it's not the most exciting aspect of MMA, is probably the most grueling.
And it also is octagon control, body shot.
And Kenny's the most aggressive here. He's the one who's pushing the action.
No question. And remember in Toronto that they went the distance, Jose Aldo and Mark Hominick, and Hominick almost staged a huge comeback in the 5th and final round.
Indeed.
With that huge hematoma on his forehead, days before the birth of his child.
And as Kenny is making Jose Aldo work harder and harder leading into this 5th round, it opens up the potential for him being successful.
Aldo went the distance against Uriah Faber in the WEC title fight, but really had his way with the leg kicks. Uriah was just as gutsy as you've seen taking the leg kicks. Went the distance with Hominick. And now we may be headed for the 5th, and we are.
Não quero clinch.
I don't want you to clinch.
Entendeu?
Got it?
A luta tá 3, no mínimo 3-1 no round. Entendeu?
You're winning 3 rounds at least.
Não quero clinch.
Don't
Não
clinch.
quero clinch. Vamos comer? Vamos comer na esquiva, chutar embaixo.
Just keep moving and keep kicking him low.
Muito mais inteiro, Raul. Tá saindo bem, tá fazendo essa fita.
You're doing well. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep throwing your crosses.
Tá. Só mais nada. E olha só. Só tá
that one.
Tough to get inside. He's gonna run away.
What's going on? Huh? He keeps going off to the right, man, when you keep spinning off to the right.
Behind and lift. That's the way he's gonna go. Switch your head to the outside, high cross off the table. Both legs.
You gotta kick low.
Let's go get it.
Low kicks.
You're round.
Kenny Florian, Jose Aldo. 5th and final round. Chad Mendez, Hatsu Hayauki, Mark Hominick, Eric Koch, Dustin Poirier. Featherweights are loaded. Lightweight title fight still ahead. Clock all night, brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go.
Kenny's got to continue to circle towards his right, move away from the power kicks and punches of Aldo, and get something offensive in this round. These have been some very close rounds, except for the 3rd, where Aldo dominated with top position. But other than that, they've been very close. And Kenny has been the most aggressive in this fight. Who knows how the judges are seeing this, Mike? Nice knee to the body by Kenny. He's got to do a lot more of that.
Put everything aside and let the fight take care of itself. Experience, maturity. Florian trying to secure his fighting dream of becoming a UFC champion. Under 4. Slipped. Went for a knee and slipped.
Good job of kicking the knee by Florian there from the bottom. That's a dangerous technique. Aldo's got to look out for that. He could get his leg hyperextended easily here.
And look, he changed just because of that, Joe.
Yeah, he went sideways.
Yep,
but Kenny's going to attack the heels. Kenny doesn't like it. Or excuse me, Aldo doesn't like it. Kenny's very good from the spot. Very good protecting and very good offensively. He keeps looking for that axe kick, and that's why it landed so hard on the ground there. He's attacking a leg. He's lacing up a leg. Oh, he lost it totally, though.
Elbow.
Now, Kenny can't run the risk of being trapped under here in the bottom like he was in the 3rd round.
It's a crucial time in this fight. 3 minutes left, George.
He's got to explode. He's got to explode. He's got to get out of here because Aldo just mounted him.
He got it again.
And he not just mounted him. He mounted him with his feet crossed underneath, which is like a guard mount. It's like having a guy in your guard, except you're mounting him. It's very difficult to shake him off. Now it's open, and he's sliding up higher, and he's going to take his back. Kenny's going to scoot out the back door. Yeah. He's going to scoot out. But Aldo brilliantly waited and then pinned his knee down. And they're both moving very well here on the ground, but Aldo is maintaining the top position. Kenny's got to get out of this spot before he incurs any damage, because scoring-wise, he's definitely losing this.
Trying to get back to that mount. Florian wants to desperately get back to the feet here.
And he does.
Up.
Now
Under 2 minutes remains.
Gotta get something going here. Kenny has got to leave it all here.
Yeah.
He cannot be conservative. More than likely, he's losing this round now. You know, even though Aldo didn't do too much offensively when he got him down, he did hold him down and he did mount him.
Yeah, he gained the mount, which is huge. Under 90, and here we go.
But Kenny can take that back and he can be aggressive.
Man, what great takedown defense by Aldo. Aldo has kept his conditioning at a good level too, Joe. Both men still really trying to push 24 minutes into this fight. Final minute. As Aldo looks to defend and Florian looks to capture.
Just about to separate them.
The featherweight title. 40 seconds.
Kenny's got to be aggressive here. Now that he's got Aldo up against the cage, he's got to knee him, he's got to punch him, he's got to do something.
How huge would a takedown be here? Florian throws the knee. Again, he's stuffed. 20 seconds. Florian tried to deliver the elbow. The teep. 10 seconds. Both men battle to the finish. We have gone the distance. 5 5-minute rounds. Has Florian done enough? Or has Aldo defended?
The real question is the 3 rounds that there wasn't a clear winner. Because there's 2 rounds where I believe Aldo probably very clearly won. The 3rd and the 5th. The other ones, you know, you'd have to go over with a fine-tooth comb.
Fight replay.
What do you score more? The dominant power of the leg kicks that Aldo landed, or the number of kicks that Kenny landed?
Yeah, that's the great question when it comes to this point. Fight replay, Bud Light, Joe, here we go.
It's no question that the more devastating blows were landed by Aldo, even though there weren't nearly as many as we've seen in some of his other fights. And Aldo did control on the ground. There you see Aldo holding him down and elbowing him there. And here's Aldo's celebration flip. That could hurt your ankles.
It's now in the hands of the judges.
Switch, guys. Yep. Kenny, over here, please. Kenny.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 49-46, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, Jose Aldo Jr.
All right, folks, I am here with the champion and still champion, Jose Aldo Jr. Give us your thoughts on the fight, and did it go the way you expected?
Fala o que você achou da luta e se ela foi como você esperava.
Foi mais ou menos o que a gente esperava, pelo fato de o Kenny ser um estrategista. O Kenny é um ótimo lutador, já passou disputando várias categorias, então ele estava jogando no meu erro, então procurei conter mais um pouco o ânimo. Desculpa, mas na próxima eu vou vir melhor.
Yeah, it played out great. He's a very strategic fighter, so he's a very smart and experienced guy, and I just had to go in there and pose my game. Next time I'm going to come out and put on an even better fight for you guys.
It seemed that Kenny's strategy was to use a lot of movement and to try to pin you up against the cage and wear you down. Is that something that you expected?
Você esperava que ele ia usar o movimentação e te colocar na grade?
Eu sabia que ele ia colocar na grade, ali eu defendo muito bem. Eu olhei a luta dele com o BJ, com todo mundo. Ele sempre chegava ali na grade e segurava, então eu já esperava isso. Procurei defender e acertar os golpes aos poucos.
Yes, I expected him to pin me against the cage. I watched his fight against BJ Penn, and he did the exact same thing, and I just had to be able to defend it.
It seemed that one of the techniques that you were having great success with was the inside leg kick. You really hurt him with that. Why didn't you throw more of those?
Por que você não continuou chutando ele se estava machucando?
Ele estava querendo botar para baixo no meu chute ali, no meu direto. Qualquer movimento que eu fizesse, ele ia entrar nas minhas pernas. Então, eu procurei conter mais o chute. Eu acho que dava para encaixar vários, mas eu mantive ali a calma e procurei valorizar mais a vitória.
You know, he was always trying to looking to take me down, and when I would throw that kick, he was always trying to take me down again, and my crosses and my movement, so I just had to do that, and I knew I could land more kicks, but I knew I had to defend the takedowns.
Well, the takedown defense was brilliant. Congratulations on retaining your title.
Eu só tenho que agradecer, dar parabéns para ele. É o aniversário do Derek aqui, então a vitória vai para ele. E mandar um beijo lá para Manaus, Amazonas. A comunidade Santa Amaro está em peso lá, torcendo por mim. Então, muito obrigado a todo mundo, Rio de Janeiro, Brasil. Obrigado, valeu, torcida jovem.
He gave me a happy birthday, and he said hello to everyone in Manaus and everyone in Santa Amaro and Rio watching this fight tonight.
Congratulations, and still champion, ladies and gentlemen, Jose Aldo.
Jose Aldo defeats Kenny Florian by unanimous decision. Tonight, Florian did indeed leave it all in the octagon in front of the UFC light heavyweight champion John Jones. And one of the great